Hey, welcome back to the show. This is Shaun Spins, and I'm your host, Shaun, and this is episode 10. What? We got a list here. A list of what? There's a list here from our fake producer of things you would like me to do to get more subscribers. Oh, this is ridiculous. You serious? All right, let's start it off. Okay, do the intro. Put your hand near the camera and yell this. Oh, jeez. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Shaun. I'm not doing this, no. Tell everyone to like and smash the subscribe button and put all the other social media stuff. Look at all this crap on the screen. This is ridiculous. Come on, get all this crap off the screen. Use some dramatic music in between talking about the music, such as, that was an interesting record. Come on. Okay, more deep thought reflections in between. What are you talking about? Deep thought reflection.
That was an interesting record for today. And I don't know what made us, or made me go with that record. But sometimes, that's how things work out here. And it's beautiful when it works out that way. Yeah.
We're gonna get a co-host.
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
And last but not least, commercials. We're doing commercials? Are you serious?
This pandemic has wreaked havoc on our exercise habits, which, if I'm being honest, was hard enough before, but now more than ever, we're more comfortable in our sedentary lifestyle. Yet, now, there's a solution with finger size, the hippest new way to get fit.
Hey, I'm Shaun, the inventor of finger size, the hippest new way to get fit. Woo! You know, if you're anything like my family, you're probably asking, Shaun, how did you come up with finger size? Well, I am a survivor of the video game crash of the 1980s, and also the video game boom of the late 1980s, and my thumbs can prove that that was a workout. And I said to myself, how can I streamline this during this difficult time? Finger size! Watch! Go! Get the other fingers involved. Oh man! I want to send you this 30-minute DVD right now. This 30-minute DVD will change your life and give you a series of workouts to get back into shape and back into the world of physical fitness and fun! Finger size! If you call right now in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to send you a free gift. It's a finger size machine! Feel the burn! Oh, man! Woo! You know, you really don't have to call in the next 10 minutes because I'm not doing this live, but they told me to. Call now, and I'll be here to take your call. Wow, that phone's ringing off the hook. I have no idea why, because we're not live, and the calls don't even come to me. They come to a call center. But call now in the next 10 minutes. Finger size! Woo! Just start the show. I don't know what that was all about. I am not in the mood. Really? Let's get started. So this is the record for today, episode 10. This is Blind Melon's Nico. I got this from Newberry Comics about, 2-3 months ago. And I actually had it on CD for a long time before that. Got the CD in like the mid-90s. I think I got this at a Borders bookstore. Who remembers Borders? Let's get a little bit into the history of Blind Melon and how I came across Blind Melon and how I got to that record, Nico. Now here's the band Blind Melon. Now for me, The first time I ever heard of Blind Melon, or the singer Shannon Hoon in particular, was for the video for Don't Cry from the band Guns N' Roses. And from there, later on, Blind Melon appeared. Now for me, when Blind Melon first came out, and the video for No Rain, I wasn't really into the band. And I'm going to think probably because they reminded me a little bit of the Grateful Dead. And at that time, I used to listen to the Grateful Dead a lot. And I used to wear a lot of tie-dye shirts. And suddenly one day I was leaving somewhere and someone said to me, "Have a grateful day." And it just kind of hit me kind of weird. And I didn't listen to the Grateful Dead as much anymore. And I didn't wear those tie-dye shirts. So I think the band kind of reminded me of them. So it took me a little while to come back around to Blind Melon. And when I did, it was this album, Nico. Now, unfortunately, this is after Shannon Hoon passed away. I'm not exactly sure what made me get this album. I think it was the photograph on the cover was just so striking to me in black and white, and seeing the person from pretty much the neck down with the tattoo and the outfit kind of reminded me of my friends and I. I had no clue the cover was actually Shannon Hoon. Let's get a little bit into the album and the music. So like I said, I really didn't have anything from Blind Melon other than I had this double CD of Woodstock 94, which I don't really recommend. There's only a few good things on it. But Blind Melon is on that. So, like I said, I picked up the CD for Nico, I don't know, 95, 96, somewhere around there it came out. This is old enough, it's one of these enhanced CDs that you put in the computer and it would do stuff. And I remember I put it in the computer a couple times and it was alright. I tried to do it recently and it doesn't work anymore on this modern computer, which is kind of interesting. Part of the direction says that it's prepare yourself for 3 megabytes. And I'm thinking, 3 megabytes? That's like a photograph nowadays, but 3 megabytes back then was a lot. Now, what Nico is a collection of music. Outtakes, rehearsals, we'll say, things that didn't make it on the album. It's beautiful, though. I have a lot of Jimi Hendrix stuff like this, and it's not as good. I mean, the Jimi Hendrix stuff sometimes it's not meant to be released, and they just keep releasing stuff. But I feel as though this is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful album. And it came out after Shannon Hoon passed away. And I don't know what made me get it. Part of me feels as though the photograph on it. Part of me also remembers when Shannon Hoon died. And I was really emotional and broken up about it. And scared too. It really did scare me into living a better way of life when Shannon Hoon passed away. So that might be part of the reason I got it too. And as I said, the cover kind of reminded me of the way my friends and I looked. So here is the vinyl version that I got recently. And as I said, I got this from Newberry Comics. The front and back cover are the same. They're both in black and white. However, there's some differences on the inside. The picture on the inside is more in a blue tone, as opposed to the CD is still in black and white. It is a gatefold, yet one side does nothing, which is kind of nice. I like it when gatefolds have one side that opens. It's kind of like a hard book. It has a beautiful record in it and beautiful, beautiful sleeve. This sleeve has to be one of the best sleeves I've ever had. And this record is one of the heaviest grade records I've ever had in my life. It's the closest thing I could say to a 78 in weight. The pictures on it are some of the same pictures from the CD. And it's a heavy record. But this sleeve is great. It has pretty much the same artwork from the CD. The biggest difference is some of the resolution is not as good. And then the back has this giant picture of Shannon Hoon, and it's dedicated to his daughter. Part of the CD and even the album talks about there was a college fund, I believe, set up. On the CD, it also mentions Part of it was going to Musicians Assistance Program, MAP, to help out musicians to get through addiction and to find help. Now, one of the things I didn't like about this side, I do like that this part is in black and white, because on the CD it's bright blue, and it kind of freaked me out of this image. But this is just straight off the CD. It's the same almost 5x5, we'll say, shape. You know, I wish they would have made this into a bigger book from Capitol that you would open in like an accordion to see all the different artwork bigger. Now, just like on the CD, each song has a little thing about where it came from, what it's about, when it was made, everything. It's pretty interesting. And I like that it's got like pencil marks and stuff on it too, to give it this feel that almost like it's a bootleg. Now, as I said earlier, this was after Shannon Hoon had passed. And it's a collection of stuff. But to me, I feel as though this could have been their third album. I know there's a few things on here that have been on other albums before, but this is it's beautiful. It is a beautiful record. Some of my favorite things on here are like the rehearsals. There's one rehearsal in particular. It sounds like they're at a hotel and you hear traffic and noise going on, and the song's called Life Ain't Too Shitty. On the CD, it is track number 9. On the record, they separated it, and it's track number 2 on side 2. It's just beautiful. You can hear the traffic outside, and you hear Shannon, and I believe it's him playing the guitar, and it's a beautiful song. There's another song he records to someone's answering machine. That is a lot of fun too, just to hear something like that, because I used to mess around a lot with old school voice answering machines, and when people would leave messages for me, I would put that on as music too. I would take their message, add it. So it's pretty cool to see that level of creativity, like calling to an answer machine, like this is what was going on. It's got a few covers on there. It's got like a different version of No Rain, which I would say I kind of like better. It's like slower in the beginning, and they did something similar on Saturday Night Live. Now, one of my favorite songs on this is the different version of St. Andrew's Hall, which is almost the last song. Now, the song originally appeared on Soup. I believe the original title is St. Andrew's Fall. Pretty sad song. It's based on what happened to them when they were leaving that venue, that they actually saw someone commit suicide, jumping off a building. That's quite traumatic. And I'm noticing the more and more I listen to Blind Melon's music, is Shannon is very honest in his telling of what's going on in life and putting that into music. You know, to me, similar to River Kumo in Weezer. Yet I feel as though Shannon might be a little bit more powerful. Now, anyways, the reason I like St. Andrew's Hall so much, particularly on the version on Nico, is the crescendoing towards the middle is just unreal. It's like everything you would want in classical music and everything, and it's just this huge crescendo, and then it goes to just guitar and Shannon Hoon's voice, and it is absolutely just stunning. And I've noticed the original version on their second album, Soup, I don't like it as much with that crescendo. It's a little bit more too produced. So this version I think is great. The song Soup is actually on this. I always found that interesting that their second album is called Soup, and that song is not on that album. Ended up here, and that song is about Kurt Cobain. And another example of, Shannon Hoon's emotions of what happened to Kurt and putting that into a song, and it's a very sad song. Just a beautiful album, and I'm really glad I got it. I wasn't going to get it at first because it cost a little much. I think it was like $30, $35, $39. But I remembered how much I liked the CD and how much the CD meant to me, that I wanted to get the record. I'm really glad I did. The record sounds better than the CD, particularly like in the beginning on the Steppenwolf cover. The acoustic guitar sounds a little bit more realistic. It doesn't sound as produced, I guess we'll say. It sounds more like you can hear the individual strings, almost like with the pick. It's got a cool sound to it. So yeah, the record is better. And as I said, later in my life, I discovered that's actually Shannon Hoon on the cover, and I believe the poem quote tattooed on him is from his grandmother. Now, there's one other thing I have from Blind Melon that I watched recently, and I'm really glad I did, and it was this movie, All I Can Say. I was a little apprehensive to get this too because I heard it was all camcorder footage that Shannon Hoon did. Now, the reason I was a little apprehensive to get that is I remember camcorders from that time, particularly my aunt's, and everything would be shaken in the video. So I was thinking it was going to be like that, and it's not. It's a nice, steady picture, and it's beautiful. It basically tells about, I'd say, 5-6 years in his life. He even has some of the footage with working with Guns N' Roses earlier, and then just going on. And for me, watching this, it added a lot of humanity to Shannon Hoon that I didn't know about him as a person. You have to remember, too, this is during the time when the internet wasn't as big, so people's lives weren't out there as much. And I always tell the story that when I was growing up, I didn't know what the Pixies looked like, really, because most of 4AD's artwork for them was different things that Von Oliver did. They weren't band pictures. So same kind of thing with different bands and stuff. I didn't know much about them unless they were in a magazine at that time. And the bands that were in magazines at the time were mostly Pearl Jam and Nirvana. To see that movie, though, it was emotional to watch. And I really, really, really wish that Shannon was still here and he was able to get help and stay sober and clean. Just a beautiful person, beautiful, honest person. And watching the movie, too, I could see that Shannon Hoon was getting interested in being someone that worked in movies and cinema. And it makes me wonder what would have came if he was still here. I really, really recommend the album Nico. It's a beautiful album. It's beautiful. I just find such this relaxation with it and just beautiful sounds. Well, that's about it for today. And until next time, I hope everyone's safe and well and be nice and good to each other. And take care.
Hey, Shaun, it's Michael. Shaun! What's going on, buddy? It's Marty, long time no talk. I called you at 1 in the morning because I live in California, and we have a... Yo, Shaun, it's Chuck. Hey, buddy.